By the right of the council, by the will of the force, welcome back into another episode of the galaxy-famous Jedi Talk. Thank you for joining. My name is Tom O'Gree, and before I introduce the rest of the council, I've got some important things for you to do. First and foremost, follow us on Instagram, Jedi Talk Podcast. We've got some great content coming out every single week, especially when these episodes drop on Wednesday, which we're going to get to talking about in just a second. But Jedi Talk has officially got a Facebook page out there, Jedi Talk, a Star Wars podcast. We've got a LinkedIn page as well. Some big things are coming, so find us. If you're out there on the social medias, find us. We're there. Jedi Talk is there. We're going to, ride this wave with us. But like I said, the full council is here on this work-from-home edition from Jedi Talk, but we're still going to deliver some content for you. So first and foremost, brother from another mother, all the way out in North Carolina right now, Brad Hughes. Brad, how the hell are you today?
What's going on, everybody? It's weird to do the show without you guys, or at least one of us in person.
Yeah, this is fun. I mean, this is new for the three of us. I'm sure you guys have done this before. I think you did it in the pandemic, didn't you?
Yeah, we were like across the street from each other, but I thought I had COVID. I didn't, but I was like, hey, let's just be safe. And this was before it was like, kind of what it is now.
Right.
But yeah. So before we get passed on over to Evan, I want to give a huge shout out to my brother and his new wife, Heather Hughes. Micah and Heather Hughes are officially a married couple. Muzzle tov for you too. That's why I'm in North Carolina. My brothers got married, so congratulations to those two.
Yeah, official Jedi Talk shout out. First podcast to call that out. Look at that. We're innovative in the first of doing things. But like I said, full council is here, so we jump from Brad to somebody who's about 30 minutes or so south of me. Evan T. Boucher. Evan, how the hell are you today?
Hello there, everybody. I've got a little loft cat on my lap. So
that's adorable.
The official loft cat of the podcast, Mr. Jackson Thomas.
That's adorable. That's awesome. Winston's like 10 feet from me, passed out on the ground.
You've got like Jack 4 official dogs.
Yeah,
so.
We do. You have Jack with you, Brad, don't you?
Yeah, we have Jack and Duncan and Molly and Prince and Gene.
Oh my God, that sounds like heaven.
Yeah, it's great.
Gentlemen, so it is our show. It is our breakdown show. Evan, have you remembered the title of it this week?
That's a loaded question.
Still
that is a no.
Does anybody here know the title of the show?
Of course I do, and I'm not obviously stalling for time to go look at the old post that I created on Jedi Talk Podcast.
It's what is it? A more civilized,
a better recap show for a more civilized age. YouTube, come on.
There it is. Yep.
There you go.
I think that's what it is.
That's what we'll call it. That's what we'll call it. But we're talking about Obi Wan Kenobi Part 5. So, Brad, I know you normally like to start with like the spoiler-free thoughts before we get into the nitty-gritty. So I want to hear your thoughts first.
So I did my usual thing, wake up at 3 a.m. on Wednesday, did the spoiler-free video that's on YouTube that I'm doing. This week's episode was a vast improvement for me from episode 4. Still didn't quite deliver everything I wanted, mainly because it was like 40 minutes. It was a little longer, 43. What was it, 43 minutes? Is that what it was?
42.
I've got it.
42.
I've got it pulled up here right now. And after the 2 minutes of intros, it says 40 minutes left.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then you have to take out like 4 minutes for credit. So it's like 30. I think it was ended up being like 37 minutes, something like that. So still a shorter episode, but overall it delivered on everything I wanted to see that was built up to this point. We called a few things. We got a few things right, fellas. Pats on the back. I'm going to give it, I initially said 10 out of 10, but I've watched it a second time, and there's some holes that are still kind of floating around for me. So I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Okay. That's fair. Evan, spoiler-free thoughts.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I'd probably give it about a 9. It answered a few questions, gave us some awesome visuals. The only thing, like one episode earlier in this series, that kept it from being perfect was musical choices. But we'll get there.
Okay, that's fair. Guys, this is my favorite episode. 10 out of 10 for me. and that's all I'll kind of leave it at. I felt like it delivered. It had the hype for me. It gave me exactly what I've been craving for from this series, and the first 4 episodes were fine, except last week was kind of a letdown, but we roll back right up the roller coaster. So how about we talk spoilers? You guys down?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Evan, did
Starts
you
right off the bat with one.
Yeah. Evan, do you want to run us through? If you and I do it together, I think that'd be stupid since we're not in the same room. So I'll leave it up to you.
Right, so we got it open right now. Opening scene is what we've all been expecting since casting was announced. We get a flashback to Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor in pre-Attack of the Clones form. So this is before episode 2. And they're just dueling. They're having a little sparring. And it's just emotional right off the bat, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was so cool to see.
I loved
Anakin.
this.
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely cool. The only downside to this is they should have done some de-aging.
That was what I was going to say.
Fair.
Like, why is he 40 playing a 20-year-old?
Yeah, I mean, he very clearly looks like a 40-year-old man sparring with a 55-year-old man.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be 30 and 20. So it's like, it's a little weird. It's nothing that, like, you know, shouldn't affect how you feel about the show, but
not at all.
It's enough to, like, kind of go like, you could have put a little more effort into this. You're freaking Disney, for Christ's sake.
Which they've done it in Star Wars shows and Marvel shows and Star Wars movies and Marvel movies for decades now. So
yeah, didn't we speculate at one point that maybe that was why they hired that YouTuber, was to do some Anakin stuff? Didn't we say that back in the day?
We
that
did.
Was something we were like, we said maybe that would be, you know, de-aging Hayden. Well, they did not. So
guys,
it was him and Mark Hamill for Mando, which he ended up doing for Boba Fett. So
yeah,
they used him for Boba Fett, but not for Anakin and Obi Wan. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. It's fine. It was really cool. I think this is gonna call back to the last episode. I think they showed how even though it's very obvious that Anakin's the stronger of the two, it kind of shows how Obi-Wan can best him.
He's the smarter of the two.
Yeah, I think this is going to come back in the last episode. You're going to kind of see him beat Vader the same way he beat him in training.
Yeah. Which at the end of this episode, he kind of beats Vader by being smarter.
Yeah.
Now, to back it up just briefly, we get this odd warning message to start before the episode starts. Now, like, I understand why, because we see why, but, like, Star Wars has had some dark stuff before. Why have we never had a warning until now?
Everything is relative, buddy. This is close to what just happened. It's going to be fresh.
But
hang on. It's not even close to what happened. It's literally something that happened to a kid in one of the school shootings.
Yeah,
right.
See, there's articles going around. This girl hid with some dead bodies and, like, put blood on her face to trick the shooter into thinking she was dead.
And now that stuff I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah, that's why that was there, and I'm not usually a fan of stuff like that, but with that, I think it's a little justified. When it's that specific, I think it's justified.
Yeah, I'm not a fan or not a fan. I'm just like, why is there a message now after 40 years of Star Wars?
I totally get it. Like if you're the parent of that poor kid and you're trying to watch something for some escapism and you hear that and it's triggering, I totally understand.
Yeah,
I get it. But this is the start of, and it piques your interest, right? Because you just get a little taste of the battle, of the training between Obi-Wan and Anakin. You're like, oh, that's all we get? Come on.
Right. It kind of, it's a flashback,
off.
But I think it's also like Vader reliving it in his brain a little bit.
Both of them are. Obi-Wan and Vader were both reliving it.
Yeah, because now Reva... Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Evan.
Yeah, so now Reva kind of shakes Vader out of it and approaches him on the bridge.
Who's standing next to a wind tunnel?
I don't hear it in the microphone.
I don't know what all that background noise is, but it's pretty horrible.
Really?
Yeah, it must be you, Tom. Yeah, dude, it sounds like you're standing next to a AC unit outside.
Did the AC just kick on? I have no idea. We've recorded in here before.
Great, we're the fourth mother box now.
Yeah, we suck. Hold on one second. I'm going to turn it down. Tell me if you stop hearing it.
Nope, still there.
It's still there. I definitely turned everything down.
Wild. Is your thing like sitting on a computer or something? Is your phone sitting on a computer? It's gone now, whatever you just did.
I didn't do a single thing.
All right. Well, it's just what it's going to be. We apologize for the audio quality in this episode. Please don't stop listening. We love you.
If it's bad, I'm hearing the final product in my headphones right now, so I don't think we're bad. It might just be something like on the Skype's end. So anyway.
Oh yeah, because you're recording right into. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So
yeah. All right. So we'll just let it go. You can edit that out if you want to.
Yeah. If not, enjoy our banter, ladies and gentlemen. We're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. There you go. There we go.
Fourth wall.
So one thing I really loved about this was I loved the shot of Vader looking out at Jabim.
Yes.
And like the reflection in the glass, like that was such an iconic. Like I want a print of that from Festival of the Arts this year. Like it is such a cool freaking shot.
Fuck yeah.
Right.
I love that shot.
When Reva approaches him initially on the bridge too, that shot of the hyperspace lane just out the window. Because in Star Wars, we've had so many iconic shots of Vader on the bridge looking out a window. It's in Empire Strikes Back. It's in Revenge of the Sith at the end. Like, it's in every movie. Like, it's just a iconic silhouette of him staring out the window.
Yeah.
We even get some of it in the Clone Wars when Anakin is staring out the windows of the bridges.
That's true.
On, like, Venator-class starships. So, it's been around for decades, and it was slightly different here, but just as awesome.
Yep, another Vader out the window looking at stuff from a distance shot. Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
So then where do
Vader
we go?
Vader turns around. Yeah.
Yeah. So Reva's approaching him to give him the rundown, and he's like, "Hey, shut up! I don't care about your pleasantries. Like, you get this done for me, whatever." And he's like, "You are now the Grand Inquisitor."
Well,
he gives her this little badge.
I think what we have to go back to is she shows up and like the first thing he says to her is kneel in front of me. As he's gonna knight her Grand Inquisitor. It's still very much a power move on Vader's part, and I love it.
Oh yeah. So she kneels, and then he puts the Grand Inquisitor little like patch thing on her. So
did anyone else look at that and go, "I can't wait to get that pin from Disney"?
Yeah.
I mean from Disneyland. Because we wouldn't get it here.
Evan.
He's not wrong.
I know he's not wrong, but Disney World doesn't get cheaped. We've got Cosmic Rewind. We're gonna get Tron. We've got the Halcyon.
I said the only thing we have that's better is the Halcyon, the People Mover, and Spaceship Earth. That's it.
No, our Splash Mountain's way better.
Agreed. Totally agree with that.
Our Big Thunder is arguably better.
Our Epcot, our Hollywood Studios, and our Animal Kingdom is better than theirs too.
Yeah, all those things are better. Anyway, this is a conversation for another podcast. So where does it go from here? Because this is where I've every week I've tried to see the episode 4 times. This one I've only seen twice. So I'm a little. One of them I was barely awake when I was watching it. So I'm going to need some help getting us to where we were. But let's move on.
Vader knights Reva, the Grand Inquisitor.
Right. So we cut to Obi-Wan on Jabim, and the first person we see on Jabim is Haja. So Haja has made the trek to help them. And
do you guys like the character, Haja?
He's okay.
The more I see, the more I like. Yeah, like I don't love him, but he's good. He's fine.
Yeah, I dig him. I'm not a huge fan of Kumal, but this character works for me for some reason. I'm interested. I'd like to know more, like maybe in a comic. Like about more adventures of him, like trying to get people off. I think that would be interesting.
Be cool.
Don't you see a little Wraith Cole in him?
Yeah, just not as cool.
Yeah, totally.
Not as cool, but just kind of like an early Wraith or something.
Yeah, I could see that. I like his character. I like the idea of a guy who's faking being a Jedi. Mm-hmm. Is it like a con man? Like I love it's such a cool concept for a character in Star Wars.
Just for money, or credits, yeah.
Now he has joined them on Jabim, not really because he wants to help. At least according to him at first. He says, I came here because I had nowhere else to go. He says, after I helped you escape, I ran into this scary Inquisitor lady, and now I'm wanted by the Empire. So he says now he knows what it feels like being a real Jedi.
Like a Jedi.
He says it's not easy. So he is wanted now, so he's kind of trying to escape himself.
Interesting. I didn't catch that.
Now we get Broken. His character comes up, and Obi-Wan says, "Hey, we got to get her back to Alderaan." And he's like, "Yeah, we got to get these people out first, because there's kind of like 100 people here. You should probably try to help too, you know."
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, this is just kind of more and more of Obi-Wan just knowing he has to kind of stay back and help them.
Yeah, they're like trying to create urgency to get everybody out of there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then don't we go back to Vader and Reva here?
Yes, that's Vader looking out on the hyperspace lane, and Reva says, "Let's seal them in their little hangar bay, and they can't get out. You know, they'll be stuck in there for days." And then Vader says, "What's he say here?
If we cannot break them, it's not that
them.
we need to break. It's basically Obi-Wan is what he's saying."
Yep.
So this is basically calling out to, you know, the relationship between Vader or Anakin and Obi-Wan, and stating like they know each other so freaking well, but Vader just knows he has to, you know, capitalize, and then this alludes to what Obi-Wan knows Vader is going to do, and vice versa. It's kind of this episode served a nice little story. It's kind of like a cat and mouse game between the two of them, with a very solid payoff. Yeah,
because they know each other better than anybody. They're brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And they taught each other and learned from each other. So they know each other so well, and it's such an emotional connection. So then they cut to Lola, and Lola's going to like unplug these wires, so it traps them in the hangar bay.
The only thing about this that I thought was dumb was that the door opened somehow.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know how it opened.
Oh my God, that's right.
Opened for it and closed behind her.
I'm actually following along now too, and like Lola used the fucking Force to open the goddamn thing. And
yeah,
like, what the hell?
I thought that was stupid from the jump. I was like,
what the fuck?
If she like had to like pull an arm out to rip it open or something, it doesn't make any sense.
Maybe Vader opened it with the Force.
Maybe
that would be stupid. That would be stupid too.
Here you go, little droid.
You go to the left.
No,
the right. No, yeah. Oh, yes, there it is, right there.
That's what she
said.
said.
After that silliness, we get maybe the most intriguing shot of the series so far. We get this box of lightsabers.
Wait,
yeah. So this is when they're about to get.
We passed the airbrush and the Jedi symbol wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. The other day. I did some decoding on that, and it was there was one thing that was fairly interesting. Some of it was just like nonsense, like not nonsense, but just like stuff in airbrush that's not super interesting. But one of the things that I did decode and thought was pretty cool. Let me find my little picture here of when I decoded it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Christ Almighty!
While Brad's looking for that, Obi-Wan reads out one of the messages that says, "The light will fade, but is never forgotten." So that's a powerful message.
Yeah, it is.
And it's right under the Jedi Order symbol. I mean, Cal has been through here, but Christ. And yes, everybody, I was very wrong about Qui-Gon in this episode. I was wrong. I don't care. This episode made up for it.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was completely fine with the way they went with this. Again, my favorite so far of all 5. And 3 out of the 4.
I think it was my favorite too.
Yeah.
I think it's my favorite too. 3 is my number. I really, really liked this episode.
Same. Yeah. This one's just so good. Especially when we get to the Vader and Reva stuff. Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
It is a character named, one of the things is Corwin Shelvey, and he was a Legends character that was a human male Jedi in the time of the Great Jedi Purge, and after the fall of the Empire, joined the new Jedi Order. This is his first appearance in canon, and he's brought in from Legends, but in a different way. Kind of like the way they did Thrawn, where it's like same character, different backstory here.
Yeah.
But that's a cool, like super nerdy thing that I didn't know. I've never heard of this character.
Yeah, I know shit about Legends. So.
But
same, but yeah,
I don't know
anything about Legends. I don't know or care.
But super cool, nerdy throwback. I'm still waiting for my Dash Rendar reference. But we'll get it someday. Someday. All right. So then we flash over to Obi-Wan looking at the lightsabers, which is something that I did a deep dive on. And these are all original parts. They're all unique. So these all belong to some Jedi that we don't know yet. Hopefully we can get like a visual dictionary for Obi Wan Kenobi. That would be fantastic. So maybe we can learn the backstory of these fallen Jedi. Seeing him look at those and hold the robe.
Yes, he picks up a black robe.
Yeah.
And that was super emotional, and just seeing watching him realize everything he fought for is completely done was really sad. I don't know why it was so sad. We've all known it's sad, but seeing visual representations of that loss is way more meaningful and impactful.
Mm-hmm. They keep piling it on and taking the toll. And wouldn't it be wild if those lightsabers were like a preview to what's coming to Savi's? Here you go. Here's what it looked like.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Missed
That'd be cool.
opportunity.
I'm hearing rumors of a fifth type of lightsaber.
Ooh.
I'm hearing rumors of a High Republic-esque lightsaber. I'm hearing rumors.
You had me at High Republic.
Yeah, I'm hearing rumors. So that'll be interesting if that actually does happen. I don't think it will, but it would be cool if it does.
All right, so we jump to Lola. And if I thought any of the scenes in this show were filmed oddly, it's the ones with Lola and Leia. It's just kind of the timing was weird. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like
it felt the pace was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the pace was weird.
It slows down.
What she ultimately ends up doing didn't need to take that long. That's why it seems awkward.
Yeah, we don't need to see her be like, is it this wire? No, it's that wire. No, it's this wire. We get it. There's 50,000 wires.
So Lola,
and then she just reaches behind one thing. And she's like, "Oh, here it is."
Yeah, she's like, "Oh yeah, it's this one." How'd you know?
The red one. Yeah. So let's not forget from last week, ladies and gentlemen. Lola has a tracker in her, which we learn is a restraining bolt on her. So she's, Vader just kind of says to take them out, and she finds their electrical equipment, cuts it off, and they're locked in. They are locked in and trapped.
So then that's when they say there's a Star Destroyer that just came into to orbit, and then Tala says he wants us to surrender. And that's when Obi-Wan says, or no, they say she has tracked us here or something. And then Obi-Wan says, not for him. And he says he wants us to surrender. And then Obi-Wan kind of going back to that flashback duel, he says he'll attack next. He hasn't the patience for a siege.
How do you know that? Yeah, I thought that was funny. Oh, Brad just left. That was wild. It's how do you know that?
Then we go right back to the flashback, and Anakin is just being a little too aggressive, classic
being
Anakin.
Cocky with him, yeah. I love this. I loved these. I was just so lost in these flashbacks, and this was a pretty long one. And then I love how it takes us right to. This might be my favorite shot of the whole, and I just paused it. I'm looking right at it. This might be my favorite shot of the whole episode. It's when Vader's looking at Jabim, and you see his reflection in the mirror of the glass of the Star Destroyer. It's
yeah, that's the one I was talking about. I love that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I love that shot. That's my favorite shot too. Well, that one and one other one that's coming up soon.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I remember that being further at the beginning. My bad.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the first one when he was on the Star Destroyer, but no, you're right, Brad. This one's spectacular.
I love it. It's so freaking cool.
So that's right post after. What am I saying? That's right post after the flashback, right? And is this when they deploy?
That's when he launches Reva and her battalion of stormtroopers.
That's right.
And now Obi-Wan's like, hey man, they're better, they're stronger, they're better equipped, better trained, there's more of them. If we try and fight them, we will not survive.
And he's right. And they start to formulate a plan. Practically.
Right. But then,
that plan is copying the plot of The Last Jedi.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, well.
It is. It's the same thing. It's the Empire coming to the people hidden behind a big door.
Wait.
With them trying to shoot at it to get the door to open while a Jedi comes out and distracts them so everyone else can run off and flee. It's literally the Battle of Crate.
Wait, Brad. So you're saying that Luke Skywalker did the same thing that his master did yet again? And his arc was bad?
Isn't that odd?
Isn't that really
Isn't that strange?
Man.
We also get hints of some classic Obi-Wan here, where in A New Hope, he says there are alternatives to fighting. We get some of that here. Obi-Wan says, but we do not need to fight them. So this is like the classic Obi-Wan of being like, we don't gotta fight. Not everything has to be violence, lightsabers, swinging. Like, there's ways around this.
Yeah, and a lot of the rest of this is filler. It basically just leads up. Leia gets into the vent because she's going to be the one to fix the electrical. She's the only one that can fit in there because Roken's like, yo, I'm too big. And everyone's like, yeah, we're adults. So she just...
And then we get the,
Did
the Sam...
anyone else think it was weird hearing him say, get her a ladder?
Yeah, a little bit, but...
Like, it didn't seem Star Warsy for whatever reason, and I know that's nitpicking is all shit, but, like, get her a ladder. It just doesn't sound right.
Get her a lift, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what you would say instead, but, like, it just doesn't seem... Like, Star Wars has data pad. It's not a, it's not a phone. It's a, it just... I don't know. They're usually pretty good about, like, saying other words that mean the same thing. This one, I don't know. Yeah, a riser, right? Yeah, like something like that. Like it just did it strike anyone else? It bothered me the first time I saw it.
It does now.
You should have said, get her the high ground.
Hey,
can you get this woman the high ground?
Please, quick, somebody get her the transportable high ground.
Evan had the high ground on Brad and us last week. Oh my.
He did. Check that video out on our Instagram. It's a great video.
And it is true.
And our Facebook now, exclusively.
Actually, we say that, but I think I was almost as tall as you guys.
It was still very, very nerve-wracking. High ground, Kylo Saber. We just had the yakety sax on out of there, but go check it out. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
We get the classic, the Sam Eagle from the Muppets thing with Roken. Roken is like, they ask him how long he needs to open the doors. He's like, 3, maybe 4 hours. Obi-Wan goes, you have 1. That's like, I wish he went Sam Eagle. I was like, oh. But
if he would have gone, you have 1.5 minutes, I think I would have lost my mind.
You got 1.5 minutes.
Did anybody else have like you were okay with Ned B in this episode, but you questioned some things because he was a loader droid? Like, you can fire a blaster and you can like lock doors and shit, but everyone just said you're just a loader droid, right? Or am I? I think
she said. I think she was saying he was just a loader droid, so people wouldn't question it.
Okay.
Yeah, downplay him.
I love Ned.
Yeah,
Ned B.
I do too. I can't wait to get that retro collection figure. Man, I love it so much.
Sweet, yeah.
I love it. I love those.
Evan, we're about at Reva arriving, right? Because I want to make a statement that her theme. So, I told you guys her theme song bangs. I love this.
I can't hum it, but I know next time I hear it, I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah.
We also get some random shots of all the people here, and we see some Trandoshans. So
that's right.
They're not all dick. There are some nice Trandoshans.
Yeah, very few and far between, but they do exist.
Yeah. So now Reva's landing right now, for me anyway.
Yeah. So they basically open fire against the big giant door.
Not quite. Jedi. They're loading up their giant E-Web cannon.
Oh, that's right.
Well, no, we're missing a whole part here. This is when Obi-Wan talks to her.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just now landing. She hasn't even got there.
Yeah, they just landed in they're firing on the door like right now, and this is when they realize that they're getting attacked. And this is as they start to formulate because we're back inside the hangar as they're trying to figure out how to open the roof, and this is when they're gonna kind of formulate their plan. Obi-Wan's considering what to do, and I think he's just like figuring out. They're battling back and forth on what needs to be done. Oh, I'm sorry. This is when Leia goes into the vents. We thought it happened earlier. So
it happens a few times. They cut back a few times, so it's all good. Too long. This is the first episode they haven't really depended on Leia.
That's true. Maybe that's why it was refreshing. But this was a very important scene because Obi-Wan said, "Let her go. I trust her." Like full 100% trust of 10-year-old Leia.
He's like, if you trust me, I trust her.
Yeah, I trust her. Yep, love that.
He's like, by the transitive property, you trust her.
Obi-Wan must really trust Haja there just for watching Leia. That was pretty wild. He barely knows him.
Yeah, but Haja's earned the trust at this point. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah,
he did help him escape.
He did help.
So here it comes to this is Obi-Wan. He gets the message from Bail.
Yeah.
I guess they agreed to no communication. That's kind of anxiety-ridden. Could you imagine being Bail Organa? No communication.
That's
knowing
like in the
Leia is?
second episode they agree not to talk.
Yeah.
So that he doesn't get nothing can get leak out, and so this sets up what's going to happen in the last episode for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why Bale finally called him, because he's like, dude, it's been like a week. I'm freaking out. Like, where's my daughter?
And he tells him that he's going to Tatooine to see the boy. He doesn't say Luke, but he says the boy. And then we get a pretty powerful convo between Tala and Obi-Wan here. Sorry, Brad.
Now remember too, Reva's already ran into Owen. So as soon as she sees that it's the same dude that she was interrogating on Tatooine, it's going to be bad news. Because we'll get to it at the end, but yeah, she's not dead.
Uncle Owen's barbecue pit trying to open up early there.
There's only like 2 people actually dead in Star Wars. Okay, so.
Yep, and Ben Solo's one of them.
Oh, Jesus. So the first thing my dad said to me when I got to North Carolina was, he goes, how'd you like that episode of Obi-Wan? And I go, it was great. He goes, lightsaber ain't what it used to be, is it?
Exactly. Like, unless you get your head chopped off, you're not dead.
Except
that's fair.
Except we're going to get to it, but Reva's lightsaber just made it through that door with ease.
Which doesn't that beg the question, like, why didn't they just do that in the first place instead of shooting at it?
Thought that. 1,000%.
Like, why would you spend all that time, energy, and resources to shoot at the door versus just shoving your saber through it when you know that'll work just fine, and then use the Force to open it up?
That's what she said.
Bad choice.
So we're missing this whole thing here with Tala, this extremely impactful conversation. How she was like, we were just told we were rounding up civilians or something, but she ended up figuring it out that it was just like a mass murder of Force-sensitive kids.
4 families, yeah.
Yeah, and families. So now she puts like a notch in her belt for every family she saves.
I cannot express to you how much I love this character.
She's great. Really good character.
I love Tala. She's
well acted,
fantastic. Too. Oh, she's great. To me, she's the strongest actor on the show, and that includes Ewan.
And except she tweeted that she didn't like her Black Series reveal.
I saw that.
Is it because of what she's wearing? Instead of wearing like a good guy costume, she's in the Imperial.
I'm so happy.
No, I think it's the likeness is off.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm actually so happy they released the Imperial one first, or they're going to release it first.
You too.
I like it better. It's like that's her first appearances in that costume.
Yeah,
it is.
But we'll get both versions. $25 times 2, $50.
Yep, I'll be right there buying them. Yeah.
Okay, so now Obi-Wan and Reva are talking at the door.
This was a huge part of the series because we get some background, we get some confirmations of what was pretty obvious.
It's what we all kind of thought.
Yeah,
we all kind of thought.
So Evan, take us through what happened there. We got a big reveal.
Right. Well, I kind of missed a little bit here. Let me take it back. She's like, if this is you stalling for time, it's not going to work. Vader's going to get you, like, no matter what. Now Obi-Wan says, you mean Anakin, not Vader.
Anakin.
And he's like, you know who Vader is. Like, how? How did you know?
And then she goes on to, or no, she doesn't say anything because she's very silent until Obi-Wan's done talking, because Obi-Wan figures it out. She's like, unless you were a youngling.
Because unless you were there.
Evan, you're low and breaking up.
Oh, okay.
You there?
Is that better?
Yep, that's better.
Okay, I didn't do anything.
Okay.
But yeah, that triggers her, and she like freaks out that she was at Order 66, and it doesn't really matter. She's like, give it up. Now we get a flashback to Order 66 again. 3 terrified younglings with Anakin approaching the youngling Slayer 3000.
With a few clone troopers behind him. That was cool.
Yeah, yep. He's hacking away at everyone around Reva. Reva's the last one standing. She's like, we thought
one of us called this, by the way. I don't remember who it was, but one of us called it and said, wouldn't it be cool if she was there while he was in there killing younglings? I forget which one of us said it, but one of us
sounds like me.
One of us said it on the show.
I think it was one of you two. Yeah.
It sounds like you.
I don't remember who it was, but one of us said it.
So Anakin slashed at all of them and stabbed her in the chest. So then she played dead, hid amongst the bodies.
Well, in Brad, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted two versions of Anakin in flashbacks: the Padawan Anakin and post or during 66 Anakin again. And I got them. I'm happy.
Darth Vader,
they're great.
No suit, Darth Vader.
Yes. Yeah. No Mustafar special Darth Vader.
Yeah. So now Obi-Wan says, "Wait, you're not serving Vader. You're hunting Vader."
Hunting him.
And Obi-Wan's like, "Let me help you." And she's like, "Why? Like, why would I let you help me? You don't even want to kill him. Like, he's your brother."
Here's my problem with this. She's been alone with Vader already.
She has?
She probably wants to escape with her life.
She was with him. Remember, she's like, I already talked to Vader. And they're like, you talked to Vader? He's like, yep, in person.
That was a hollow.
Just been a transmission, yeah.
That was a hollow.
But she would have to be she was around him at the beginning of this episode.
Also surrounded by that entire ship that would have just murdered her at the time.
Yeah, but if you're just trying to straight up kill Vader, you don't care if you get killed too. You're trying to take that dude out.
No, she wants Vader. So if she just were to walk up on Darth Vader with the two of them together, he would have saw that coming like 5 miles away. She wants
as he does in this,
right? But she thinks getting Obi-Wan in Vader's attention will take his attention fully on Obi-Wan, away from Reva sneaking up on him and stabby from the back. So that's her game.
Which makes sense for Anakin's character. For Anakin to get like 100% like tunnel vision on Kenobi like that.
That's a good point, because like you see something that happens later in the episode that is shows what happens when he's tunnel vision.
If I was in the universe, I'd be like, okay, this Darth Vader guy only cares about Obi Wan Kenobi. Like I could see him focusing on only one thing.
That's like such a hope everything goes according to plan kind of plan. Like that's not a great plan. Hey, I'm gonna put all my eggs in the basket that like I can sneak up behind him while he's fighting this other guy and maybe stab him. Do you think that's why she walked away in that first episode in this third episode? Remember when they're all standing there watching him and he starts falling after him and she goes to follow him?
Oh yeah.
Was that what that was?
Probably, yeah. When the fifth brother says like we were told to stay and sweep the town.
Yeah, and she leaves anyway. Huh? Okay.
I thought about that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, I'm here for it. It might not be the best plan, but at least she's following it through.
Right.
Well, yeah. That's the thing, though, with the Inquisitors, too. Not just her, all of them. They're not the best of the best. They were just whatever Jedis were left that were like, hey, please don't kill me. Like, I'll turn, whatever. Like, so they're not smart. They're not good with the Force. They're not good with lightsabers. That's the point.
Yeah, they're not exceptional in any way. They're just what was there.
Yep.
This is when Reva blames Obi-Wan. She's like, "Where the hell were you? Like, he was your Padawan." And then she stabs right through this door that could, like Brad said, could have been done from the start. But then
you know what?
She gets
I'm sure that door will be fine.
Yeah, she gets force shoved by Obi-Wan. That's the biggest I think we've seen him use the Force so far in the series.
Yeah, that or grabbing Leia when she was falling.
Oh, that's true.
But so now they're blasting away at everybody. Tala gets shot.
Yeah.
And Ned B kind of gets this K2SO moment.
Yeah, Ned B was blasting.
Yeah, totally.
Troopers.
I don't know. Were you guys emotional for Ned B at all? Because I was like, I don't know. Did you guys cry for K2SO? I was emotional for K2.
Didn't cry for K2SO. Didn't cry for Ned.
Yeah,
Ned
I didn't
B,
cry.
But I like Ned B better.
Me too.
Oh.
Me too. I like Ned B better.
I was like, all right, Ned B's dead. Whatever.
I was sad. I liked that character. I was sad that Tala died. I was very upset by that.
I think the best part about that was the moment between Tala and Ned B. Like you felt that relationship, and she was devastated to see Ned B, falling apart in front of her eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
And you also see how much you can tell how much Obi-Wan cared too about her at this point as well. She's
he tries to
proven her. So I think he was skeptical from the jump, but then when someone proves themselves over and over again, then that was rough. That was the most emotional stuff so far from the show that had to do with the new characters, which I didn't think I was going to get from this.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm going to feel these big moments of, Obi-Wan finding out that Anakin's Vader and these big things, but I didn't expect these little moments like this. And I'm glad we got it because this was one of my favorite moments of the show, even though it was devastating.
Yeah, Star Wars makes side characters well known. Look, they made a whole series
just like
out of
on the
Boba Fett.
Halcyon.
Yeah. Oh my God, great point.
Yep.
So we did forget to mention they cut to Leia real quick as she's figuring things out. But then after Ned B and Ned B tossed some fucking troopers before he died. That was pretty cool.
And then Tala doesn't die by blaster fire. She goes all Val from Solo and thermal detonates herself.
Right.
Yeah. Rough one.
So then they cut back up to the Executor Vader ship up there, and they're like, the Grand Inquisitor, which is Reva, has already breached the door. She's in. Then Vader says, tell her to stand down. Kenobi is already ours.
Which he's gotten away so many times at this point. Why would you let this happen? This is the part I don't understand. Everyone's like, well, he's just toying with Obi-Wan. No. At a certain point, you're going to go, okay, enough's enough. This is the fourth time this has happened this week. Give me that guy. I'm going to kill him right here in front of everybody. So everyone knows that I'm the big boss here. I'm not playing around.
Also, Return of the Jedi, Luke says to the Emperor, your overconfidence is your weakness.
True.
Yeah, but this isn't even overconfidence. This is just like, he'll eventually be ours. It's like, no, you can't have a sense of urgency with Vader trying to get to Obi-Wan, and then every time he gets away, you're just like, okay, well, it'll happen.
You just know Anakin's seething under that mask.
I know, and that's why I don't buy that he's just okay with it happening over and over again.
I get it.
But also, he wants to be the one that does it. He doesn't want Reva to do it.
No, I get it. But at least have him detained.
Yeah.
He tells her to stand down. Like, no, I'm so confident that I can go in and get this after he's gotten away for it. I get, like, the first time you're like, dude, I got this, old man. This ain't going to be anything. And then he gets away once. That, for me, would be enough where I'm like, all right, I want you to put your knee in his back until I get there. Do not let him move.
Force hold him. Force choke.
Yeah, I don't understand the logic.
Well, we bounce to one of the better flashbacks between Anakin and Obi-Wan here. They're fighting, and I got a little vibes from their Revenge of the Sith fight in this one, kind of like how they're going back and forth real quick with the sabers in the beginning.
But then there's also a Return of the Jedi moment when Luke has just got Vader pinned against the railing, and he's wailing on him like from the top down, like repeatedly. Anakin's done that to Obi-Wan. He's got him pinned down and wailing from top down with just this look on his face, this crazy look in his eye. That had to be done intentionally to make it look
100%.
like
it always is. And then we finally get Obi-Wan Kenobi realizing that, oh crap, it's over. Anakin's already won. So this is when he starts to formulate that he has to play this a little bit differently than what he originally thought. And he says, hey, Roken, I've got to go back. Roken's like, are you fucking crazy? And I always hate when the good guys give up their weapons, so I hated seeing him hand over his lightsaber to Roken, but I get why he did it.
Gives it to Haja.
Oh, that's right, he does give it to Haja. You're right. I'm sorry, I thought it was Roken.
And his communicator. Gives the saber and the communicator to Haja.
Yep, very important. Good call on the communicator there. But we got a great shot of his lightsaber. Can't wait to get it at Disney World. What's holding you guys up?
And
it'll be next week.
It'll be soon.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, next week, ladies and gentlemen, we will be recording the day of the finale. So,
yes, that's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So then Roken asks Obi-Wan, like, how are you going to fight without your weapon? Obi-Wan says, there are other ways to fight. Which is probably another callback to A New Hope when he says there are other ways to fighting.
Absolutely, that was.
Well, he's learned those lessons by that point. You don't have to go in lightsaber blazing. You can manipulate people, which is what he does with Reva. And win.
then he gives himself up. He's walking out there, hands up, surrendering, which is kind of something he's learned from Anakin, because Anakin did that like 10 times in the Clone Wars, where he would just fake surrender.
By the way, I love these Purge Troopers because they're going to be in Survivor, and we're getting a TVC of them. So I just adore these guys.
I think they're designed.
They're such a cool design.
Yeah, they almost look First Order.
Yeah, they really do.
They do. You're right about that. So we get a powerful speech between Obi-Wan and Reva here. Let me bring him to me, or basically telling her to use him as bait.
Oh yeah, that's right. How does he word it here? Reva says he's on his way. You're gonna die.
And he says, you're not bringing him to me. I'm bringing you to him.
Exactly.
There it is. Exactly. Yep, and I love that because it's true.
Yeah, it's just such a cool. It was one of those moments where he says that in the show, and I went, "Oh."
Yeah, right, exactly. So
okay, I get what's happening.
You see the conflict in Reva's face here, like for one of the first times.
Yeah,
she's like, "Why should I trust you?" She's kind of pulling Obi-Wan earlier in the episodes.
And then this is when they confirm what we just said. Reva says, "What makes you think he won't see it coming?" And Obi-Wan is like, "Cause he'll be paying attention to me." So, which is what Anakin would do, but as we see in a little bit, shit happened.
Love this though. Is this the first time we've seen a light side user do the whole join me to the dark side user?
Oh.
That's basically what
it is.
Because like Kylo does it to Rey in The
Luke
Last
to
Jedi.
Vader? Luke to Vader?
Vader to Luke.
Luke to Vader. Join me, Father. There's still good in you.
That's true, but he does it after Empire Strikes Back, when Vader does it first. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And Maul does it to Ahsoka. Join me, and we'll take out Sidious.
Oh yeah. But
yeah, Luke did it to Vader, like you said. But yeah, and then this is another light side doing it to the dark side.
That's true. And then we finally get the conclusion of the Obi-Wan and Anakin lightsaber battle.
Flashback.
Yeah.
Yep.
The flashback. So Anakin looks like he wins, and I love
disarms him.
Yeah, I love what Obi-Wan says to him. Your need for victory, Anakin, it blinds you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very relevant to what's happening in the real time.
Exactly. That's why this episode is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I this is one of the best written episodes, especially if it pays off next week.
Yes, sir.
This could be a really cool setup for what's going to happen next week.
So now we get Vader coming down.
I'm so happy we got live action Anakin again. Just want to say that.
I know, it's really cool.
Yeah, Vader just... Whew.
Vader says, "Where is he?"
Get out of his way. I caught it. I love this Vader too.
And Vader says, "I'll bring him myself."
This is another one of my favorite shots of all time. Is when that shuttle first starts to take off, and it's like a wide shot. And Vader's like on the left-hand side of the screen, trying to force pull the ship down right before it actually happens.
He did that with ease.
Yeah, and rips it apart. And did you guys notice the second ship in the background the first time? Because I didn't.
No,
not the first time, but I did the second time.
I looked for it the second time because I was like,
barely there, Evan. I don't know about that. I felt like I had to like squint to see it. I don't know.
It's just behind the other ship.
Right? Yeah, you can see it.
Really? All right.
It took me back.
It's right there behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, it took me back to the Chewie transport in Episode 9.
Ah, yes.
That's exactly what I was about to say, dude.
Yeah, so I was like, I didn't see it the first time, but the second time you watch Episode 9, you're like, oh yeah, there's two.
By the way, between Vader stomping over to the transport, Leia figures out the restraining bolt on Lola and turns the electricity back on, and yay, the roof is open.
Now, why was that going to take him 3 hours?
I have no idea. Just so they can say you have one.
He couldn't get in there and do it manually, so
he was too big.
I don't know how he would have to do it, but he couldn't get in there and do it by hand. So in this confusion here, Haja sprinting to the transport. Haja drops the communicator to bail.
Yeah, bad idea.
Vader's coming in, force opening the doors, storming in all. Transport takes off. He just snatches it out of midair. You can see the transport in the wide shot. You can see it off in the corner.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Which that's the lesson there again. Like he was so blinded by trying to see Anakin, he didn't see the thing off to the side.
Yep, exactly.
And he rips it apart, and that is one of the coolest scenes in all of Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome. And then it
Where you're
takes
just
off.
like Jesus.
I mean, like
He's like,
I knew, yeah.
It's like you'll do
Now,
anything.
why couldn't he just take that other? Why couldn't he just take the ship down again? I don't understand.
The other ship was kind of in his way.
Possibly, and maybe like he gets this flashback or something that we're seeing in time.
Oh yeah, the Obi Wan Force taking the saber back.
Yeah, so maybe this flashback has been like happening to him in the moment. I don't know. That's a good question. I have no answer.
Yeah, that seems like it's one of those things where you're like the fire. It's like he just put it out. Why can't he do it again?
But the best part about this last flashback is you can see Anakin learning the lesson.
Yes, at the end, like he nods and acknowledges it.
He like takes it and he swallows his pride, and
you get the best shot of that version of Anakin's lightsaber we've ever had.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
I was
they
so
don't
giddy.
sell you. Yeah,
dude, I was like, I almost was like, oh, I wish I'd have voted for that one instead.
Yeah, they need to sell that one now. Label it Anakin's lightsaber.
Yeah.
So then Reva storms up behind Vader, and Vader catches what's going on, and he goes, "He was wise to use you against me."
Yeah, that was awesome. God.
Just like how he tells Luke, "It is unwise to lower your defenses."
Is this like the best Vader we've ever had? Fucking with Reva here, like this is so.
Cool.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's quite as badass as the Rogue One hallway scene.
Okay, good point.
But it's close.
It's up there because this is against another Force user. The Rogue One was just against dudes.
Real quick, guys, what's your favorite hallway scene? And there's only 3 answers here.
Rogue One.
Okay, Brad.
What are the 3 options?
Maul, Clone Wars, Rogue One, or Luke taking down the Dark Troopers.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's hard not to say Vader in Rogue One, but I am gonna say the Luke one.
Okay.
Because I like the character of Luke more than I like the character of Vader. And that reveal at the end of that hallway scene was so freaking awesome.
You're right.
You kind of knew it.
You
knew it going into it.
I'm only counting the hallway itself.
But that is the hallway scene. He gets to the end of the hallway, he takes his hood off.
Yeah, man.
And then he gets out of the hallway.
That's like saying that Vader's standing out at the end of the platform as the Tantive 4 takes off. It doesn't count as the scene. That counts. It counts.
Let him have it. It counts. And then, actually, funny enough, mine is the Maul one in Clone Wars because he doesn't use a lightsaber. He's using the Force the whole time. I just absolutely love how he's just throwing people around.
Yeah.
I don't... Anyone who picks any of those 3, that's totally fair.
Yeah, agree with you.
They're all great.
Did anybody else think Reva was going to get Count Dooku'd here at the end of their battle?
Yes,
100%.
It should have been that.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I'm curious to see. I don't they wear armor?
Dude,
I mean, I guess the lightsaber goes through it, like
it goes through her chest.
So, but
Vader stabs her through her chest.
Yeah. now Reva has survived 2 chest stabbings in her life.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Did you really believe I did not see it coming?
Yeah, youngling.
That was dark.
You have no further use.
And the Grand Inquisitor's back.
Oh no, didn't see that coming. I didn't see Rebels.
Somehow the Grand Inquisitor has returned.
Star
he was
Wars.
also stabbed in the chest.
No, he was stabbed in the stomach, right?
True, stomach.
Do you think that since they're Inquisitors, maybe they don't have lightsabers that are quite as full strength or something? You think they're going to go down that path with this? There has to be some reason she didn't die.
I don't know.
Or maybe we could flash to Wednesday and she's dead, and the Grand Inquisitor comes back to retrieve the lightsaber or something from her and finds that the kid's on Tatooine.
I'd be okay with
that. Would be interesting.
So the Grand Inquisitor here does something which, I mean, we knew he was going to be alive, but this is like the old...
I could fix this in 1 second. He kills Reva, kills Reva. She falls down to the ground. She crawls over to the thing, sees the Bail Organa message. The Grand Inquisitor comes back in, takes the pen off of her, puts it on himself, and finds the message.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah,
that's a better scene.
Yeah,
I'm curious I'm curious where this news is going to go. Reva's going to die eventually. She has to. If she's not dead,
I wouldn't be shocked if she's dead already.
I hope so.
She maybe sends that to somebody in the Empire that tells Vader. I don't know. This is the first time I don't know what's going to happen.
That's true. That's what makes the finale so good. How long do you think the finale is going to be?
I said this earlier today. This was a bold prediction. 1 hour, 7 minutes.
I would love if it's an hour, 7 minutes.
1 hour, 7 minutes. That's my prediction.
Look,
based on absolutely nothing.
So people are going to be clamoring for this. Like the ratings for this finale, I think, are going to go through the roof. We all get up early to watch it, right? I watch it normally twice in the same day. I get up early to watch it before Courtney, but she was just telling me today. She's like, I think I'm going to get up with you and watch it early on Wednesday because it's that anticipated. It's like it's going to be that epic.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I really hope this delivers. I'm nervous. I'm more nervous than excited.
Oh, come on.
Because
don't be a pessimistic Star Wars fans.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I just want it to deliver as high as I know they can. That's why I'm nervous.
That's fair. And then you
got a lot to do here. You got to think about how much they have to do. They now brought Luke into the fold, so now you have to satisfy that story. You have to satisfy that. You have to get Leia back to Bail. You have to get Obi-Wan back into hiding. You have to have Anakin and Obi-Wan have one more confrontation. You have to make sure that Luke is safe again. There's a lot to do now.
Well, it's all just one trip to Tatooine. It's just all one trip to Tatooine. Luke's there. Bail's going to be there.
What about Bail?
Bail said he's going to
Bail's
Tatooine.
Tatooine. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yep. So that's going to be easy.
Yeah.
They're all going to Tatooine.
Yeah, you could. That's right. Okay, I forgot about that. That makes everything a little more easy.
Yeah, exactly. And then that shot ends on Luke sleeping. Great way to end this episode. We didn't
really talk too much about the Vader stuff. The Vader we got with him and Reva was fantastic.
Yes.
Like him moving her around through the Force was really, really cool. It was almost like watching like Shang-Chi or something.
Yeah, just stopping her one-handed.
It was really good, like Avatar, The Last Airbender. It was really great.
And then he even the coolest part was when he takes her lightsaber, breaks it apart, and tosses her another saber, just fucking with her. Like, let's go.
He's like, let's go, bitch. I got you.
Yeah. So Anakin.
I loved it.
So Anakin. I loved it.
100%. All right. So, where do you think this goes?
I have no idea.
You got a prediction for time? Anybody? Anybody got any predictions?
Time? I'm going to say this. I'm going to go over and say like an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay, by the way, when I say 107, I mean that's the runtime with including the recap and the credits.
Yeah, same with me.
So we're clear.
Same with me, yeah.
Okay, 1 hour, 7 minutes. That's my guess.
That's fair. Evan,
what about you?
I was going to say like 58 without the extra stuff, so I'll give it like 104.
104, okay. Interesting. All right. Anybody have any predictions for next week?
Qui-Gon,
you think it's happening?
He's got to. It's got to.
I don't think it's happening. They haven't brought him up again.
But why? Why would you bring him up in the beginning?
I think they did that as a way to establish the fact that Qui-Gon's dead, and so people know where this takes place in the canon timeline.
But we know he figures out how to be a Force Ghost.
Say it again, Tom.
But I was going to say, but we know Qui-Gon figures out how to be a Force Ghost.
I don't think they're using him now. I think he'll come for season 2, possibly. I don't think we're going to get him. I really don't.
So the window is passed for season 1.
Yeah. All the times he's brought him up, it's done.
They do have to show that he is dead because he got stabbed almost in the same area that everyone else has got stabbed in the show.
I know, and my boy died. It's not fair.
And he dies.
You don't think
they do have to show us he's dead.
You don't think there might be some hesitation on Obi-Wan's part to confront Vader, and Qui-Gon shows up to encourage and to give him advice? You don't think that would happen like right off the bat in the episode?
No.
Could be.
I think you might have a better chance of truly getting a flashback of them together and him like showing
Instead
him how
of a
to
Force
meditate
ghost, yeah.
and like letting them into the secret maybe.
Talking about like the cosmic force and the living force and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think you got a better chance of that happening than like a Force ghost appearing of Qui-Gon.
All right, then hell, we'll take that too.
Yeah. And
What
then
would you
season
rather
2
have,
maybe you
Brad?
explore how what I'd rather have.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have a flashback.
Okay.
Because then you get Qui-Gon in his prime. Like that's way cooler than a blue ghost.
It is way cooler.
Make no mistake, I'm going to lose my shit if he pops up as a blue ghost. Make no mistake, you're going to hear me screaming all the way from North Carolina.
He's the only ghost we haven't
Oh no,
seen.
I'll be back home.
Yeah, I was going to say we're recording that.
I'll be back home. But yeah, what were you saying, Evan?
Qui-Gon's the only Force ghost we haven't seen in live action, so I would love to see him in Force Ghost.
That's true. That is true.
He was a Force ghost in Clone Wars once, so we've seen it, but I want to see it as Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, either way, I'm cool with it, but I think it's more compelling having them actually talk about it beforehand, and maybe that's how he knows of how to do it, not necessarily, hey, here's how you do it. Right. All right, see you later.
Yeah. Well, see you. Big
see
gulps. Big gulps. Well, all right. See you later.
Big gulps.
All right, guys. I think that about wraps up Obi Wan Kenobi Part 5 and the finale next week. Oh, boy.
Beautiful. On Wednesday. So after this, we're getting back to our Monday and Wednesday releases. We're going to start with Wednesday, and then we won't have a podcast until Monday for next week, and then we will have Monday and Wednesday going forward. So it's going to be a good time. I can't wait to get the finale to the show. This is my most anticipated thing in Star Wars since The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I can't wait. I'm glad I have a fun weekend, and I'm glad I'm off until Wednesday, so I don't have to really think about it, and it'll be just fun times. And then you know how like the weekend just flies by.
Yeah.
Anytime you're off.
Yep.
So I don't have to worry about it again until Wednesday.
Look at that.
It's going to be exciting.
Yes, it will be. Evan, any last thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, I'm just as excited for it. I think we're definitely still getting a season 2. So I'm here for that. Here for both.
All right. Bradley, take us home.
I don't want a season 2, but I want this to be one and done. But they've kind of made it to where it seems like they kind of have to do a season 2 now because they've left so much on the table as of right now.
They got to wrap up Reva's story. She's still alive too. So
see, that's another thing they got to do. They got to wrap up all that stuff. They kind of wrapped up the Grand Inquisitor, but still.
Yeah, he's done. He's good.
But
and they can do everybody else on Tatooine. Like
I didn't think about that, but you're right. Absolutely right, Tom. You're absolutely right. He's going to be there waiting for him, like kind of watching over Luke.
Yep.
But all right, everyone. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We will see you guys on the next episode. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you.
Always in good.
Rise, Jedi Knight.